important in allowing us to get rezoning across the street because the zoning, we went from about 2 stories to 200 feet. So a really big rezoning effort, and you guys were a big part of that, and we appreciate it. I'm here with my colleague, Kim Land. She's one of our developers, will help me as needed. So next slide. So Alamo Manhattan. We're basically Matt Segrist, our president, and me. We're good friends in college at Texas A&M back in the 90s. And after college, we both joined the Marines, and we were kind of in the Marines together. Our careers had kind of gone, together a pretty good bit.
And I appreciate your service.
Thank you. And after 4 years on active duty in the Marine Corps as officers, we went to grad school. He went and got his MBA at Texas. I went to SMU and got my law degree. And I practiced law for a while in Houston at Fulbright and Jaworski. He was a Wall Street banker at Credit Suisse First Boston. And ultimately, we both wound up working for Simpson Housing in Seattle, wanting to be developers. And so we were in charge of West Coast development for Simpson Housing. Simpson Housing is a private REIT based out of Denver, Colorado. And it was an opportunity to really learn the business. So our job was to go into all the cool markets on the West Coast, Los Angeles, Orange County, San Diego, San Francisco, Portland, Seattle, and develop apartment projects in these great neighborhoods. We kind of retail on the first floor, really complex areas. But the hope was to learn it there and be able to come back home to Texas and do it for ourselves and not work for the man. So in about 2010, that's when we started Alamo Manhattan. So we're very present in this area. So across the street from the Marriott is Alamo Manhattan. And we did the project behind called Ruth Street Flats. So we really like the area. Our key GP partners, our chief partners. Some of you folks may know Chief. Chief partners is Bill Vander Straten. They're the real estate arm of Trevor Reese Jones, who is a local oil and gas billionaire. Very active with us. Great partners. Allow us to act quickly and get projects other folks might not be able to. So now our focus here is urban Texas markets and Pacific Northwest mostly, because we used to work there. Our contacts are up there. It's still kind of like our backyard. So we're very active in Uptown, in Dallas. We've done some in San Antonio. We've not been in Houston or Austin yet. We hope to get there soon. But we're probably most active in Portland right now, but Seattle also. We've done today, we've started about $775 million in projects. That's total project costs combined for all of our projects. It's kind of cool being in both markets. When we came here to Dallas, our first project was Monaco on the Trail. I'll show it in a second. But the average, I think the smallest project in history for apartments was in the 900 average square feet when we started. And Monaco was about 800. So we introduced studios to the market. It was on about 45,000 square feet, really small, but we put subgrade parking in that we learned how to do up in the Northwest. We put a centralized boiler system in. So instead of having all the individual hot water heaters and all the different units, we have a centralized boiler system, which gives unlimited hot water to your residents. It's more efficient. It allows you to have better unit plans. So a lot of things. And now from Dallas, Dallas has great unit plans. People have big kitchens and big closets, and people, even today's millennials, love big kitchens, not because they cook, but because they like to hang out. I like to entertain. So our kitchens are a big deal. So that's a big hit up there in the Northwest. All right, so this is the Monaco. These are all our uptown projects we've done so far. This is on the K Trail. The cool side is actually the backside you don't see. It's about a 5-minute walk north of the K Trail. And we have a bridge that connects to the K Trail. Pretty cool. This is in Victory Park. Was the first movers to cycle in Victory Park. This is American Airlines Center right here. This is Harry Hines coming in. So if you're coming in from North Dallas to the right, go to the Mavs game, you turn right there. This is Ruth Street Flats, which is the backside of my office over here. Right now we're back here. Very successful projects. We've actually had a hard time. We want to do all retail here on the first floor, but our parking regulations in this neighborhood are very antiquated. Our parking regulations assume that everybody drives everywhere all the time, like they did in 1984. That's not the case anymore. But we couldn't park the retail here, so we weren't able to put it in. And the Oak Lawn Committee and PD 193 are not very flexible in reducing parking requirements. We found that over and over again. And here is our St. Thomas project, which is called the Stella. It's about 2 blocks behind the Gables Whole Foods. A very residential area. So it's a really nice film, but get to the top, you have a great rooftop terrace, so you see all uptown and downtown. Really, really good location, we're proud of. This is Victor Prosper. I gave his dome slide. This is our most recent one. We just finished this in December. If you guys go to Bishop Arts District, North Oak Cliff, this is the entrance. This is the terminus of the Dallas streetcar. I took this picture last night. So this streetcar comes and stops right here. And the idea is to connect the Bishop Arts, the Methodist Hospital. It goes down to Union Station. The next leg's already funded. It's going to go to the convention center. So all the people at the convention center are going to be able to go to Bishop Arts and hang out and go back to the convention center in about 10 minutes. The next leg is going to be connecting the streetcar, this streetcar to the McKinley Avenue trolley. Will create some nice synergies to get around. But over time, the streetcar is going to web throughout the city. So the first leg's the toughest, but over time, you get a lot more ridership. The city of Portland has the exact same thing. It's very, very successful. Very exact same cars and everything. South Lake Union Transit in Seattle has the exact same thing through the Amazon headquarters. So it's really, really effective. This project, we were able to get $11.25 million in TIF funds from the city. It's the largest award for an apartment project in the history of Dallas. And that allowed us to build this huge outdoor public plaza. It's a really different streetcar stop than you're used to seeing in Dallas. And we've got 25,000 square feet of commercial space that we're currently leasing up. Thomas Glendenning of Shop Companies is helping us do that right now. Right now we have White Rhino signed up, some pretty good tenants signed up. We still have more tenants we'd like to go. This is a large outdoor seating area for the 2 restaurants. They're not signed up yet. So if you guys have any restaurants that want a lot of activity in Bishop Arts District, a lot of cool outdoor seating and on the streetcar stop and a lot of people watching, let us know. All right, so keep us in mind there. Next slide. This is in San Antonio. I know you guys here are not from San Antonio, but I know you have some guys from San Antonio. This is on the Riverwalk. So it's about halfway between downtown and the Pearl Brewery. It's about a 5-minute walk each side. And we like to grab what's unique about the project. We call them unique selling points, USPs. And so here we have a pool deck, and we have a steps to come down from the pool deck straight to a river car stop. So that's a really neat thing for our residents to hop on the riverboat and head back and forth. This is achieving the highest rents for mid-rise in San Antonio. So we were projecting to hit about 216, and everyone thought, wow, it's really high for San Antonio. But we came in with our uptown product. You've got below ground parking on 1 acre, very dense. You drive in, hit the elevator, you're straight to your unit. Small units, very efficient units, very nice finishes. And it's been a huge hit. So we're beating our projection about 15 cents a foot. And there's a wait list to get in here. So we're pushing the rents up, obviously. So this is a really good entrance in San Antonio. We're trying to do more there. Here's a couple in Seattle. This is actually in downtown Bellevue. We finished this a couple years ago. This is the second phase of that project. That'll be finished in May. Our partner's AIG on that one. Here is Portland. Portland has an area called the South Waterfront. See the streetcar, it's the same streetcar that we have in North Oak Cliff. So this is the Ella Apartments, which is also about 98% leased, doing really, really well. And this is our second phase of that one, which will start in April. Hopefully we can, right? She's our manager of that one. All right, next.
So, wait, whether it's Portland, Seattle, compare the pricing of your multifamily at the end of the day to San Antonio, DFW. I mean, are they 20% apart? Are they on par?
I would say
what's the pricing?
on the cost side, probably a 40%, 50% more cost.
More cost.
So that's pretty high.
Wow.
And then our rents are probably 60 cents or so higher. So I mean, right now our San Antonio project is actually getting better rents than our Stella project in St. Thomas. So it's a really unique situation that San Antonio is beating uptown. In Seattle, we're getting stuff probably in the 280s on rents. And one of the reasons, cap rates are a little lower out there on sales. One of the reasons people want to invest in lower cap rates there because historically there's much stronger rent growth. Right. You've got rivers, you've got mountains, you have very difficult entitlement processes, permitting processes, costs are very high. Now there's an affordable housing requirement in Portland, just incredibly expensive and hard and difficult to get into, which is why we like it. But rent growth typically is I mean, historically, people wouldn't bet an eye to 7% rent growth in a year. We've seen more than that there. In Dallas, 3% rent growth is really strong. That would be weak in the Northwest.
Good, that's an interesting number.
Let's take it just to Dallas-Fort Worth for a second.
Okay.
So, because this is all we're people here. So frame up for us in costs and rents, garden versus a 4-story wrap versus a mid-rise. I think it'll help educate it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of assumption you make with location, and quality. All right, so this is
assume it's all above ground park.
taking a step back. I would think that with our projects right now, with a mid-rise, you're probably at $2.30 for apartment rent. A high-rise, $2.90 to $3 on some really nice street light stuff, some of the high-rise stuff. Your wraps probably $2.05, $2.10, and your garden style is going to be in the high ones,
And
$1.90s.
define, so wrap, mid-rise, and high-rise, just so people can understand.
Sure. So your garden style stuff is they call it woody walk up. You know, you need 10 or 11 acres. It has to be suburban. They have 10 or 11 acres, and you've got surface parking. Sometimes you have tuck under parking where you can park in your building, like a garage, 3 stories. Typically your wrap project will be 4 stories, sometimes 5 stories. You need about 3 to 5 acres for wrap projects. You know, in the early 2000s, the Gables Uptown Trail was a wrap. There's quite a few wraps around where people actually had 3 to 5 acres. I can't imagine having 5 acres right now in Uptown. It's just not there. But those have a above ground parking garage, and the units, like the Gables, Villa Rosa, is all wrap. Then they'll have an above ground garage, and the units wrap the garage. So it's pretty cool. If you live on the 4th floor, you can drive up to the 4th floor, park, and walk across a little, walk across to your building, to your unit, without having to get any stairs, without any elevators. That's pretty cool. People like that. The problem is, you can walk a long way. Sometimes you walk all the way across your parking garage. Parking garages typically are not climate controlled, so it can be cold, it can be hot, there could be water dripping down. It's a good thing, but it's not preferred. Then the next step up would be in our mid-rise project, which is typically 5 stories, 6 stories, sometimes 7 stories. And that's when you take your 40,000 square feet. Our Roof Street Flats project is right under an acre. And we're putting 220 units on an acre with all below grade parking. Below grade parking is very expensive. We're talking about $30,000 per parking space below ground. And then your wood frame, your first floor will be podium, which is concrete, where you put your retail in, your leasing office in, some of your amenities in. And then above that, you have wood frame construction. And then from there, you go to your high rise. So there's kind of 4 different class groups that you see here.
Thanks.
Sure. Okay. Now this is our first high rise. We started this one in December. It's 348 apartments. This was in downtown Portland. So this is a skyline changer. So in the future, when you see pictures of the skyline of Portland, this will be downtown. And so it's 20 stories. It's going to have amazing views of the Willamette River. It's got a big dog run up top. Our residents love dogs, big time. I mean, we're probably about 50% of our residents like dogs, especially in Portland. More people have dogs than have cars in mid-Portland. And so we've got great, people want to be able to take their dog out, that going down the street. So we have, above ground, really cool places. Our dog run here is probably 5,000 square feet, and it's on the 16th floor outside. So it's going to be pretty neat. So we're really excited about this one. We've got 15,000 square feet of retail, and all the street fronts have to have very active spaces. They want restaurants, they want retail, they want things that appeal. They don't like dead spaces. In Texas, you walk around, you see a lot of buildings with dead space on the ground floor. You don't see that in Portland. Portland really good at development. It's expensive, but that's what we have to do that too. And this is just a conceptual because our office building is a 1-story building, 9,000 square feet. And we also own the building next door on Fairmount, which is a small skinny side. It's about 35,000 total square feet. So at some point we're going to redevelop that. The problem is we like officing there a lot. So that's not real quick on the, this is a great place to office down here, and we love it. And we love watching the Marriott go up every day. And also, I think that our Marriott Hotel is going to transform real estate values and what the ultimate uses are here. So this is our a planned one. All right, here we are. So this is our Marriott Hotel. So here's our office. Here's our street flats. We're right here right now. We started last summer, and it's all below ground parking, which is an expensive thing to do. And here we are, in it for 6 months, and we're still going up with our columns and whatnot. So it's a slow process. We had record amounts of rain last September and October. Even with pumping, it certainly slowed things down a little bit. Let's go to the next one. All right, so we're historically apartment developers. That's just what we're good at. It's where our expertise is. We have a lot of success with apartments, but we don't look at ourselves as just apartment developers. We want to be opportunistic. We want to make money for our investors. We like to do fun things also. And so being down here, our investors would come in town, lenders would come in town. We'd have lunch at the Ice House. Like, hey, where you guys staying tonight? They're like, we're at the west end of the Galleria. Or we're staying at the Anatole. Or we're at the downtown. It's so dead. It's like, why? Why are you staying down there? Well, I want my points, and I can't stay anywhere down here. I can't put the Ritz-Carlton on my expense report. I mean, even if it was, $150 a night, you can't put the Ritz-Carlton in your expense report. What's your client going to say? You got the Crescent, it's kind of the same problem. The Zaza is great, but it's small and it's booked, and there's no points. A lot of people take their summer vacations on points, so that's a big benefit of traveling. So something is just missing here. How often you guys go to the Preston Center for a meeting, at the club or something like that? So I'll find ourselves at the University Park Club up there at a ULI meeting or something. Everybody there works in Uptown. So why are we in Preston Center when everybody's done is driving back to Uptown? Because the meeting space is not there. It's not affordable. It's hard to get. So there just seems to be something missing here. And so whenever we got that side under contract, it was condominiums. We just started thinking outside the box. Certainly there's a lot of supply right now with apartments. Everybody knows that. What's an opportunity to diversify a little bit? Now, and could this be a hotel opportunity? And we knew nothing about hotels. We stayed there a lot at hotels, but didn't know much about them. And so we got on websites. So Hyatt, Kimpton, Marriott, Hilton, Starwood. And if you click it about 15 times on their website, you get to a link that says, if you are interested in developing a hotel, fill in this box. So it's like, who's going to read that, right? Okay, I'm Wade Johns, I'm from Dallas. Did this over and over again, knowing no one's ever going to call me on this. And within 2 days, 100% of them called us and said, we want to come meet with you right now. So instead of us courting them, they saw the location and they started courting us. So it became a selection process of who are we going to choose to work with us on this. And so that was obviously an important thing because the whole thing here is points. At the time, there were rumors that Marriott was buying Starwood, which they did, which doubles the number of people who want points here. And we're Marriott people. We love Marriott. The brands are huge. And so we ultimately went with Marriott. So Marriott is going to be not just an Uptown Marriott hotel, but it is going to be managed by Marriott. And that's kind of some safety rails for us. If you're new at something, you want to surround yourself with the very best that you can. So from a consulting perspective, our interior designers have done tons of Marriott projects, same for our architects and our contractors. And typically, I like to be the least experienced person in the room. I mean, doing anything. I want to surround myself with people who are just absolute experts who've done things dozens and dozens and dozens of times. So when you come up, you'd say, what did you do before? What'd you do in that one? What'd you do in that one? So all that information is so valuable in a design process, especially if you're new at something. So the next slide, Kim. All right, so this is our hotel. And you can see quickly a lot of the way we develop, we're all off the ground floor. And the Weiss building is right here. This is our ground floor, all windows, all active, all the way around. The parking is below. This level here is our meeting space area. We're gonna have 13,000 square feet of meeting space. Have a ballroom, a junior ballroom, lots of meeting rooms. Hopefully people in this room will get a lot of use over there across the street. We're about 18% complete right now, and we'll be finishing not this summer, but next summer. So the things are going really well right now. Next slide. So here's a close-up of the ground floor. This is our restaurant, which is a farm-to-table concept. Should be really good. We're going to have a coffee shop right here that opens, a separate coffee shop with outdoor seating that opens directly to this building. So you won't have to go through the hotel to get to the coffee shop. It'll be a proudly brewed Starbucks there. Here, this is the main entrance, so you're going to drive in from the front and immediately go down. And it's 100% valet. And so you're going to drive down, and there's a whole lot of waiting space there for a valet parker. Pick up your car and keep on driving down, park your car, and leave. There'll be a really nice stairwell and whatnot to get from underground to the garage. A nice greeting area to the first floor to check in or go to your event or whatever. And here is the back deck. This is above the meeting space. So we've got a infinity edge pool to the side, got some cool cabanas. There's going to be great views. This is about 5 stories up. There'll be great views of downtown and uptown. We'll have a nice big turf meeting area. So we're going to have outdoor music. You want to have a happy hour out there, we'll totally accommodate it.
I'm sorry, can you say where the Weissman building is? In relation to that?
You know we're doing some work here, Wayne.
Yeah,
6 and 5.
I think you're standing in the Weissman.
Well, Herb asked me to make sure you guys worked as much as possible. So we put this here in front of the Weissman building. So that's a courtesy to him, actually. All right, so this is the ground floor. This is the Weissman building, and this is our outdoor patio. We're able to have a cool fire table over here to come grab a drink after work. This is our restaurant, and we really want to monetize people that come in. So it's not a hotel where you go and you sit there. The idea is you're going to enter the main entrance, come have a seat, and the bartender is going to say, "Hey, gotta get you a drink." Very interactive, trying to get people in to monetize the customer. So the bar is here. You've got a large sitting area here. Arrival. Here's our M-Club lounge. How many guys use M-Club lounges when you travel? Anybody? So it's a real complimentary kind of a Admiral's Club thing that Marriott uses that really attracts the people who travel a lot with Marriott. And here's a stairwell that goes up to the meeting space. So when we have events up there, people are not going to be confined by elevators. You can leave when you want, not waiting for elevators if there's 1,000 people leaving at the same time. And here's a stair that actually comes up from the garage down below. Now, people ask a lot about this. Now, if you go see our site, you can see on Wolf and Fairmount, there was that photography studio. And the photography studio did not want to sell. And it took us about 2 years to finally get them to sell. And when they realized, we're actually going to build this whether you sell or not. And it's noisy, and it shakes. And underground construction is disruptive. So ultimately, we got on the sale. Problem is, the building was already permitted and designed and about to start, and already rezoned, the whole thing. So you had this parcel as an outlier. So what we're thinking now is to build a double height restaurant space on that parcel. And this is just an early rendering on what it might be. We're still trying to figure things out, but it could be a really cool separate restaurant. And there's there's a restaurant in Seattle called The Purple. It is so cool. It's double height. It's got a stairwell that goes up the middle where all the wines are. It's a great location for something like that. So we're studying that. We'll hopefully get that figured out in the next couple of months. Maybe that could be finished at the same time as the Marriott. But it's a separate project. And here's some renderings of the inside. This is the lobby. This is the check-in desk, and here's our bar area. This is the restaurant, which will be across the street from you guys. Our farm-to-table concept, pretty cool. Here's our main ballroom. So I think our main ballroom is about 6,000 square feet in size, so plenty big to hold some nice events, weddings, stuff like that. And this is the event hub to where it's an idea. These are the doors to the main ballroom. There's the elevators where you go and you check in, you get your cards.
So is Marriott running your farm to table restaurant?
They are. They've got some really great food and beverage people that have spent a lot of time on that.
And from a capital standpoint, is that restaurant paying the ownership rent, or is it just part of the hotel?
It's part of the business.
Okay.
So it's all part of the business, which is a simplicity thing for us.
Right.
We had the option of doing it that way, but a lot of, you have to serve breakfast, and talk to different people. We talked to Steve Faring about it, different folks. It was gonna be simple for us to have Marriott do it. And these hotels are really complicated. I mean, we're used to having 6 people, 6 employees at an apartment, 6 full-time employees. This is going to be 150 employees. And so this is really complicated. You have to underwrite all the different businesses. I mean, the valet parking is its own business. The bar is its own business. The restaurant is its own business. The catering is its own business. The rooms, are their own business. So all these businesses come together under one umbrella. And so we're going to leave that to the experts to do that. Now we'll have input in the menu and things of that nature. We'll make sure it's cool, but we're letting them worry about that. We're going to worry about developing more projects.
Let me go back to the bookstore corner. Okay,
Sure.
Because I think it's interesting. So under the overly restrictive PD 190, 193 or 190?
193, yeah.
Are you able to borrow parks from your Marriott site for the map shop here?
Not without a zoning change.
Okay. All right.
Not without a zoning change. Our Marriott project actually is overparked.
Okay.
It's overparked from a need perspective, not from a code perspective. Again, the zoning here assumes that every single person drives everywhere. I mean, the code from 1984 had no idea of Uber, or how dense the area would be that people would actually walk places. But you can get to Love Field in 7 minutes from this location down the tollway. People are going to Uber, jump out, and spend their whole time walking to McKinney, walking to their meetings, walking to restaurants. But the zoning requires us to have one space for every room. So there's hundreds of below-grade parking. Marriott tells us we'll need about 20% of those. So we have all these extra parking spaces, but because they're required for code, they cannot be allocated elsewhere.
Because none of your travel or Marriott's guests are going to rent cars.
That's right. And so, I mean, it's changing, and I'm hoping at some point, but there are people who are just dug in. A lot of people think that Oak Lawn is uptown. It's the same zoning, but it's not. It's different. People are not living right here. This is a different area, but you have to get it done. So that's what we did. So we had too much parking, and we'll figure out how to monetize that somehow, hopefully, but not for that building. Not unless without a zoning change. We looked at that too.
I have a quick question. If you go back to the slide with the pool, so from a development perspective, why does it make more sense to put that on the 5th floor, whatever you said, versus on the top and build more hotel rooms?
So why is this not higher?
Yeah, fill that with more hotel rooms, so you could make more money.
I like how you
Every room has to have
think. I like how you think. Well, there was a question first of all, how many rooms do we want? Right, and so we did a lot of study to determine a sweet spot of about 250. We don't want 500 rooms here. We wanted about 250. And the zoning got pushed. Our FAR is the 5.85. That was our FAR, and we're at 5.84. So we can't even go hardly a foot more than what we already had. So there's zoning constraints, there's market constraints, and the pool up top, the footprint of the building is not big enough for that. The increased structural costs to put a pool up top would be very expensive. So I mean, there's a lot of things that you weigh. That's a great question. We ask that question to ourselves bunches of times to make sure you build the right thing. The most important part of the whole project is to build the right thing. That's the location. Build the right thing. And so we had tons of thought and analysis on what that right thing might be. And maybe 255 is not enough rooms. And if that's the case, we'll put a hotel where our office is. Yeah. that'll be great. But
how many stories?
14 stories.
14.
We say 14 because it's not a 13th story. It's actually 13 stories. People are superstitious.
So-
14's out there anyway.
So just because it's a neighborhood, it's interesting. So where's Nick and Sam's on that drawing?
Nick and Sam's is right here.
Okay, so.
So Phil Romano liked it.
Romano, right.
Yeah.
Romano sells that and a lot next door that he's parked. Okay?
Yeah.
That's got similar FAR density. Okay? So how did you think about and accommodate the fact that on that Nick and Sam's and the site to the south of it, adjacent, there's gonna be high-rise residential hotel, something there someday,
And we talked to Phil and hope that it's us.
right?
Hope that it's us. It'd be great. No,
How did the pool and the way it opens and a high-rise, take us through how you're thinking in terms of that? Because I hope it's you too, but
So if, so say, Dick and Sam's is built out.
well, they're gonna level, Phil's plan when he bought the lot to the south is that
Yeah.
someday he's gonna just, walk away and level the ground and somebody's gonna go up high.
That's definitely a concern of his.
Okay?
That's definitely a concern of his,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible they could build something that blocks it.
Mhm.
And, that's okay. I mean, there are, a lot of the great hotels around are, in urban areas with buildings all around them.
Yeah.
At some point, other buildings are cool and look cool. And as it rezones it, we'll have input on what it is and how it's oriented, just like he did, on this one. Our major selling point of this hotel is not the views. The views will be good, but the real major selling point is that it's 2 words: Marriott Uptown.
Right.
We think that kind of says it all. The Katy Trail is really unique. That's a distinguishing thing for us from the hotels on McKinney. A lot of the fitness theme, the outdoor theme, you're gonna see the bicycles, you're gonna sense that in the hotel because it's, it's a half block from the Katy Trail. And so you can come and visit, go for a run on the Katy Trail. If it's raining, our fitness center is gonna be awesome with good views. And we're gonna be dog friendly, bicycle friendly. We're gonna have bikes you can check out for free if you're a resident. So the Katy Trail is a big thing for us too. So location's really important.
Wade, how are you gonna, how do you convince the city on traffic concerns? Because Carlisle already is very tough to come out and make a left turn. And are you gonna try to direct all the traffic on Wolf Street, or is there gonna be a light at Carlisle in the future? How's that gonna be?
That was a major concern, and we hired a traffic consultant that studied, how many, what's the abilities of the roads to handle increased traffic. And the numbers came out really, really good for us that the roads can handle it. But the people mostly come on Wolf Street. So they'll come down Wolf Street, take a left on Fairmount and into the garage. At one point, we wanted to put the entrance on the alley. That was a concern for Nick and Sam's, a concern for the city. We don't like parking entrances on the front of a building. We just don't. They're not attractive. They're a little bit disruptive, but that's what we ended up with. There's no perfect solution to a development project. That's how we ended up because of traffic concerns. So we thought about putting it on Carlisle, and Carlisle didn't have as much capacity as Fairmount did. So the route down Fairmount to Wolf, that they thought was plenty, and then the city saw the numbers and thought they were good too. So.
What kind of occupancy rates does the Stoneleigh Hotel have, and how is this gonna impact, them?
They're healthy. They're in the low 80s on average, right in keeping with the market. If they were struggling, that'd have been hard for us. But they're doing really well. This hotel is going to have a very different feel. It's going to be much newer, more modern. It's going to feel a lot different. And we kind of thought about it as a rising tide raises more ships. And so we think it's only going to keep on doing fine. That they're a Le Méridien, which is a Starwood brand, which is now a Marriott brand. And so there's some synergies there with them. I know they've got some concern about our hotel, but it's going to be fine. And if you think about the demand here, in Uptown, there's been over 5 million new square feet of office space completed very recently. 5 million square feet. Tens of thousands of new apartments here, and not one new full-service hotel room. And so there's all these dynamics are here, but we're missing this piece. And so we think there's demand for more than this actually, but we'll see.
300 average a night projections, or?
263 average year-round. So that's the average asking for the project year-round. So some nights it'll be less, if there's people in town, it'll be more. If it's a It's Sunday night will be less. Sunday's always the worst night for a hotel. That's because travelers, business travelers are not there Sunday night, and the weekenders have already left. We think the project is not just a business traveler hotel. We think it's more than that. You look at that. Think about all the sporting events Dallas has. Notre Dame and Clemson played in AT&T Cowboy Stadium, and there are hundreds of thousands of people come in for these events. A lot in Dallas. Concerts, American Airlines Center, but Red River Rivalry. Just constantly these things happen, and these are young people. Where do they want to be? They didn't want to be at the Galleria or the Anatole. They want to be in Uptown. So you go to the Ice House on Red River Rivalry weekend, and all you see is orange and black and the flags, and everybody's down there covering for the game. Don't you think they wish they were staying right here and not having to drive after whatever they were doing? And so we're hoping it's a strong weekend crowd for those kind of events. Dallas is such a machine for weekend events, and convention stuff, and just the regular travelers.
Wade, based on your restaurant response, you're not acting as a franchisee for this flag, you're just acting as a JV partner on the project?
It's not a franchise.
Yeah.
It's not a franchise. It is we own it, and Marriott is managing it for us.
Okay.
So there's no franchise. There are franchises involved to where you can own it, call it a Marriott, have a third party come in and manage it. It's not Marriott. That's a franchisee situation. Ours is just a joint venture partnership. Marriott has no ownership in our joint venture, and they're just a manager. They get a fee for managing it, plus we pay them to operate. So,
Wade, this is awesome. You've gone deep and helped us understand. We're clearly excited about it as neighbors, and there will always be challenges with densification. That's the world. Any last questions?
We're excited about it. This is a really fun thing that we're doing. With an apartment community, you get a few hundred people. We get to experience it a year. If you do something great in apartments, it's a few hundred a year. This is a few hundred a night. It's exciting for us to design something that's a placemaker for people. It's going to be a placemaker for people in this room. Everybody in this room is going to get to experience what's happening over there. We will. Families will. Everybody does get to go in and check it out and get to see the benefits of it. I think it's going to be great for land values around here. That's one reason we haven't done anything with our lot yet. We want to see how this transforms the area, and what are the highs and best it's going to be after it's here. It's
What
going
are
to
the
be a lot of
plans for
activity.
parking in Carlisle?
What's that?
The plans for parking on Carlisle once you're through? I mean, we know it's eliminated now while you're building, but
It's going to be on-street parking all down Carlisle.
It still will be.
Yeah, city property, right of way, and on-street parking on both sides all the time. So right now we are renting some space during construction.
Right.
That'll go back to what it was. So it'll be just as much as there was. They wouldn't even let us put a porta cachet in. So our even our drop-offs are going to be underground. So you have to operate where you get. Yes.
I know you guys have a camera on our building and one on the other one. Are you guys doing a time lapse with it?
Oh yes.
Cool.
I mean, every 5 minutes.
That's very cool.
It goes when the project's over, you can go through really fast, and it's pretty neat.
So 14, not 13, 14 below is 6 levels?
4 levels.
4 levels.
Yeah.
So it's 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
And you can walk over and see how deep it is. It's deep, and digging that deep is challenging. There's groundwater down there. People don't realize how complicated it is to build down and the retention systems and the water control and all that stuff. But it's
But we're watching it.
yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I mean, development's a fun business.
Well, continued success, and thank you for your time. We appreciate it very much.
I'm leaving some cards here in case anybody wants one.